All right, a very good afternoon, everybody from the controller scopes. Once again, it's Captain Nabs here with you for another live stream here on the VATSIM network. We're just logging into the VATSIM network here. Let me just make sure that I've got everything set up here. So, pardon me 1 second, actually, because I haven't actually checked to make sure that this is going to come through correctly here, but it should. That should be, you guys should be able to hear that. All right, so that means we should be able to hear airplanes when they call us. And let's go ahead and let's get some stuff happening here. Now let's see here. We did have a NOTAM in Toronto for construction on 6 left, 2 4 right. So we may not be able to land 6 right. So it may be a little bit of 6 left here. Just trying to see if I can find it here.
Toronto Center, good afternoon. Air Canada 2311 with you, flight level 260 for 8,000.
Air Canada 2311 Toronto Center, hello, squawk cadent. And Air Canada, actually, sorry, Air Canada 2311, I misspoke. I need you to squawk a new code of 0517. Sorry, I'm trying to look at this really quick.
0517, Air Canada 2311.
All right. Now, there was a NOTAM about 6 right, 2 4 left. I don't think I see it anymore. I think it's gone. So that means we could probably land 6 right, 2 4 left. Centerline lighting's unserviceable. That's okay. We could deal with that. But we'll do the approaches to 6 left, I think.
Canada 940 currently on Alpha, taxiing runway 23 for IFR to Nassau, please.
All right, first Air Canada 2311 Heavy, you're identified as sending through 250. Descend 2000. It's going to be runway 06 left for arrival.
All right, we'll reprogram that 06 left down to 2000, Air Canada 2311.
Thank you. I'll get you an ATIS in a few minutes here. The altimeter Toronto 3013.
Check the altimeter, Air Canada 2311.
All right, and sorry, Air Canada taxiing, who was it?
Air Canada 940.
Air Canada 940 Toronto. So you said you're set up for 23. Because I wasn't here, I can continue to accommodate that if you'd like, or we can switch to 05. It's up to you.
We'll continue in 23. We're just looking at the OIS here for Nav Canada. It's showing 23 as the active in real life, even with that tailwind for 940, and we're good for that for our performance.
Okay, Air Canada 940, perfect. Yeah, I see the tailwind components. Why I'm favoring the 05s here, anyways. But you're cleared to Nassau via the Regis Fife departure, Phillipsburg transition, and flight plan route. Departure runway for you 23 squawk 0565.
Clear to Nassau via the Regis 5 departure, runway 23, squawk 0565 for Air Canada 940.
Air Canada 940, thank you very much. That readback is correct. Continue taxiing Alpha Hotel, advice ready holding short 23. The altimeter Toronto 3013.
Copy, we'll continue taxiing Alpha Hotel. We'll let you know when we're short of 23 for 940, and we have the altimeter.
All right, so yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, do I want to conform to the real world, or do I want to kind of look at what's more practical? And at this point, like, it's a good time. It would be a good time to switch since I'm not on. I haven't been online. ILS 06 right, departures on 05. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's do 0506 primary secondary. Let's do it this way. Yeah, 06 left will be the primary. 06 left will be the primary. The secondary approaches are nav Yankee or ILS runway 05. Departures runway 05. Okay, so we'll do that as information alpha. All right, and that should get some things going on here. Don't see anybody else in my airspace that I need to ping right off the bat. People who are already taxiing, I feel pity for them. Like, I just gotta jump on, you know, and I'm sort of, you know, I won't say randomly, but sort of randomly here, just kind of jumping on and doing stuff. So if you're already taxiing, I'm certainly willing to work with people. And, you know, I mean, if this guy, if the Air Canada 2311 had really said, like, we're really set up and we don't want to change, I would have been okay with that. I could have dealt with that. But it's one of those things where it's like you're trying to, and I'm not surprised Toronto is keeping a configuration. Let me grab my runway wind readout here. I'm not surprised Toronto's keeping a east-west flow configuration because they like it and they don't want to change on a whim ever. That's the thing with Toronto is it's such a busy airport. It's hard to ever change it on a whim. So I'm just kind of looking at it here. I looked at the winds. I said 360 at 9. Like that's 30 degrees favor. It's 020 at 5 right now on the north side. There's no reason other than just sheer laziness that they shouldn't be switching. Not laziness, but like it is impractical. Switching is very impractical in Toronto. It takes a lot of effort to switch runways. So I get it. You know, you don't want to do it on a whim. You want to make sure that that wind is solidly in that direction. I haven't seen the forecast. Let's do this. I'm just going to try and get the ATIS up and running here in the city. But I'm just going to quickly pull up the TAF for Toronto and just see what the forecast says. Because the other thing too is you got to look at the forecast. Like there's no point in changing runways if the wind's going to switch back and forth. And the forecast says the wind should be out of the southwest. It's currently not doing that, so we'll keep an eye on it. But for now, we're going to go operate in an east flow. We can always change it later if we have to. Let's see here. In the meantime, yeah, so let's get city. City's 160 at 7. Pretty much splitting the difference. Either way, I'll be honest, the 2.6 is easier at city, and there's no tailwind component in this case. It's funny, the winds are 180 degrees different at city than from Pearson. Isn't that interesting? All right, so I'm going to put 26 up as the approach at city. I don't think there's too many NOTAMs at city, but let's have a little look-see here. Publications, RNFs. Where's that authorized 20? RNAV Zulu 26 approach not authorized until 21 December. Until approximately 21 December. Okay, so we'll do that. That's about it. All right, and then the other one I'll get up right off the bat is Ottawa. Let's just have a look because there's always NOTAMs in Ottawa. Nothing about the ILS being offline. RNAVs, higher minimums, but otherwise it's fine. So let's just have a quick look at that weather up in the corner there in Ottawa, and that is winds 290 at 8. Excuse me. So it's kind of it's basically favoring 3-2. I know they don't like to use 3-2, so what I do is usually a 25-32, where it's landing 25 and 32, departing 25, because it's better for noise abatement if they don't depart 32. All right. So we'll do that one in Ottawa. And then let's see here. We got one guy, Air Canada 585 Toronto. Are you with me? Nope. Transat's on the taxi. And that's why you got to constantly scroll around, especially when you first log in. You got to scroll around constantly just to make sure. Interesting story. Sorry, I saw you there. I saw you said hello, and good afternoon to you as well. Just trying to get myself up and running in that first 15
Toronto Center, Transat 286, checking in.
Wow, that is way too noisy for me. Transat 286 Toronto, hello. You ready for clearance to St. Martin?
Your Transat 286, I'm just going to stop here on Alpha.
Sure, let me know when you're ready to copy. Air Canada 940 Toronto, contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 050 at 5, clear for takeoff, runway 23.
Contact you once you're airborne, clear for takeoff 23 for Canada 940.
Toronto Center, Transat 286, ready to copy.
That is just too loud for me. All right, Transat 286 Toronto, you're cleared to St. Martin via the Kepta Tree departure, Wozy transition, flight plan route, departure runway is 05, squawk code 0553.
Air Transat 286, cleared to St. Martin via the Kepta 3 departure on the Wozy transition. Select runway 05 for departure, squawking 0553.
Transat 286, thank you. That readback is correct. Information Alpha is now current in Toronto. The altimeter 3013. Taxi Alpha and Hotel, cross runways 15 left and 15 right.
Cross Alpha Hotel, cross 15 left, 15 right, Air Transat 286.
All right, got a couple of guys inbound here. I pinged the Air Canada. I don't know who this is here, so I'm just going to ask him to contact me as well. And
Toronto Center, hello, Vision 12 Lima Alpha Heavy. We're at 777 200 LR at 128. Information Alpha on board. Alpha clearance to Boston, please.
And Vision 12 Lima Alpha Toronto, hello. You're cleared to Boston via the Kepta Tree departure. Bumpa transition, flight plan route, departure runway is 05, squawk code 0525.
We're cleared to Boston via Kim free departure bumper transition, then as filed. And departure runway 05, squawk 0525 for Vision 12 Lima Alpha Heavy.
Vision 12 Lima Alpha Heavy, thank you. Readback is correct. Information Alpha in Toronto. Pushback and startup at your discretion. Call ready for taxi.
Pushback and startup at our discretion, and could you have a look at our flight remarks for 12 Lima Alpha?
And 12 Lima Alpha, sorry, say again the remarks?
Could you have a look at our flight remarks, please?
Oh, absolutely. Sorry, I didn't see that there, but I've got it now. All right, I turned the volume down just a
Toronto
little.
Center, Air Canada 940, airborne climbing through 2,400 for 5,000, heading to 245.
Air Canada 940, thank you very much. Identified climb 7,000.
Climb 7,000 for 940.
All right, and I'm pretty forgiving of people right now if they're not calling me right away because I did just log on, but the longer I spend online too, the more impatient I get with people, and I was getting a little impatient. I was on as well last night, and there's a couple of people. There's one guy who basically said, "Oh, can you just log off now so I can stay on Unicom?" And I'm like, "Really? Like, if you don't want to talk to anybody, in fact,
Toronto Center,
log
Air
on to it."
Canada 776 with you, flight level 410.
Air Canada 776 Toronto, hello, squawk code 0511.
0511, Air Canada 776.
Air Canada 940, turn left direct Deucem on course, climb 15,000.
Left direct Deucem on course 15,000 for 940.
Air Canada 776 Heavy, identified flight level 410, and you can proceed direct Miglo on course.
Hit direct Miglo, Air Canada 776.
Air Canada 2311 Heavy, descend 8,000.
Down to 8,000, Air Canada 2311.
All right, so I think we kind of got everything squared away here. Let's just have a quick look at VATSIM and see what's going on here as well. So there were some arrivals in Ottawa earlier. Now there's nothing. I'm just looking around to see if there's any other towered airports where there is activity. There was a departure out of Hamilton, and that was it. No arrivals. So I have one more ATIS at my disposal. I can put up 4 ATISes. ATI? What is the plural of ATIS? Is it ATISes? I never really know. Just trying to decide what I could and should put up, and I tend to like the Hammer because people like to go to the Hammer. London's also good. Sault Ste. Marie's also good. It's just a little bit far out there, but it gets people kind of going. Any thoughts? People watching, thoughts on a fourth airport to put up an ATIS at? And I can't really decide for myself here. Trying to decide. All right, and this guy is VFR, and he's climbing up into the terminal airspace now. He requires a contact me. Air Canada 940, continue climb, flight level 230.
Continue climb flight level 230 for 940.
And I pinged him, and he logged off the network, of course, always. Transat 286 Toronto, contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 060 at 4, clear for takeoff, runway 05.
Winds acknowledged, clear takeoff, runway 05, Air Transat 286.
I would laugh if Toronto switched to the 5s now, after I've just, 5s and 6s now, after I've just decided to declare my ATIS for 5s and 6s. I would laugh if they did the same thing. Delta 1127, Toronto, are you here? And I'm a little skeptical that they are, so ping you. All right. It's not going to be a particularly long stream today, folks. I've only got about 2.5 hours today for me for my stream today, so that's all I've got really. I've got to go to bed at a certain time, as always, to try and be awake on time. Sorry, just trying to pull this up here. So yeah, that's all I've got. So if anybody's thinking about logging in, do it soon. Do it now because, as I said, I got about 2.5 hours. I got a few airplanes. I expect I'll get a few more as we go here. With the being in Toronto, being a weekend especially, not a whole lot of ATC online in Canada right now, and people do like Canada, and or people do like Toronto, especially in Canada. People like to fly in their home
Center,
country.
good afternoon. Delta 1127, flight level 340, southeast of Toronto.
Delta 1127, Toronto, hello. Squawk ident, please.
Squawk ident, Delta 1127.
All right, definitely didn't take him very long at least. Good, 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 good. Yeah, it's not a big long day I've got available today, but it is what it is. You know, you take what you can get. I was doing some stuff earlier, trying to get some stuff done. And yeah, so this is the time I have available to me here. Just gonna try and center this on here. See if my chair goes up any higher. No, that's about as high as it gets. So that's about as good a headshot as you get. So I try to keep myself centered here, but sometimes I tend to slack off after a little while. I just sort of Delta 1127, Toronto, thank you. You're identified flight level 340. And what's Air Canada 940 going to for a final here? They're going to 370. Air Canada 940, climb flight level 300.
Up to 300 for 940.
Toronto Center, Transat 286, passing 250, 25,000, 2,500.
Transat 286, Toronto, thank you. Identified, climb 7,000.
Climb 7,000, Air Transat 286.
Air Canada 2311 Heavy, Toronto, you may see traffic off at your 11 o'clock for about 6 miles. Is a climbing 321. He's going to be leveling off at 7,000, turning south underneath you.
Air Canada 2311, we have the traffic.
Transat 286 Toronto, turn right, direct Rycombe on course. As you make the turn, traffic's going to pass through. Your 12 o'clock is a westbound 777 Heavy, descending to 8,000.
Right direct, Rycombe, Air Transat 286, and we got traffic in sight.
Thank you. All right. One guy doesn't want to contact me, and I'm not mad yet because I only logged on 20 minutes ago. So, these things happen. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. It annoys me a little bit, but not a lot. It's not totally unexpected, and yeah, so I'm fine with that. But it does bug me when when it's been like 2 hours. When I've been online for like 2 hours, and there's still people are still like just bombing through your airspace, not calling you. It's fine. It's fine for like 30 minutes or whatever, 45 minutes, even 30 minutes is when my patience starts to wear thin because then I've been online long enough that you should have been around on the network seeing what was happening. Air Canada 2311 Heavy, descend 6,000.
Down to 6,000, Air Canada 2311.
Transat 286, caution possible wake turbulence behind the 777 there. Continue climb, flight level 230.
Continue climb 230, Air Transat 286.
All right, who's this? Is it Air China 981? pretty sure CCA is Air China, right? Yeah. Air China 981 Heavy, Toronto, are you here? Didn't think so. Not surprised. Air Canada 940 Toronto, you're leaving my airspace to the south. The traffic I was concerned about has passed behind you now, so further climb and navigation at your discretion. Switch to the unknown frequency, surveillance service terminates, and have a great day.
Copy. The traffic you're concerned about is no longer an issue. Navigation and climb at our discretion over Unicom for Air Canada 940. Thanks. Have a great day.
Take care. Air Canada 2311 Heavy, descend 4,000.
Down to 4,000, Air Canada 2311.
Toronto Center, China 991 Heavy, flight level 370.
Air China 981 Heavy, Toronto Center, hello, squawk ident, please.
Were they cleared into the gate?
Ident, China 981.
And there were two calls at once, Air China 981. I've got you identified, flight level 370. Who was the other call for Toronto? Oh, I think it was Transat, and I think I just lost Transat. Oh, no, I got him still. He's good. He's still alive. Just the transponder just glitched for a second. It's funny because like it doesn't even phase me anymore. Oh, we just lost another airplane. Doesn't even phase me anymore. You'd think it would phase me. You'd think I'd be concerned about, airplanes disappearing off radar, hundreds of people no longer flying through the skies, but no. As a VATSIM controller, I just don't care. Oh, it's not that I don't care. It's just it's funny. But like in the real world, if you lost a target, you'd be like, oh my God. Maybe not. I mean, people's transponders fail, and radio stuff fails, and communications mediums break down from time to time. You wouldn't panic about it, but it's funny that I just don't care. I just really literally don't care. People come and go on VATSIM, and that's just fine by me. All right, he is in a 777, so it's not going down in a hurry. Hopefully we'll start getting a few more people in here soon. Ping this guy. I want Montreal online. I do have Boston online, so I keep this Transat. No, sorry, he's going to Saint Martin. He's going south more or less, isn't he? He's going Binghamton, Sparta, LaGuardia. Yeah, I don't think he's going to fast through Boston's airspace, but the Vision 12 Lima Alpha will. Air Canada 2311 Heavy, turn right heading 330, descend 3000.
330 down to 3,000, Air Canada 2311.
Definitely giving him a little bit more space because he's a heavy. What are we doing here? Yeah. Depending on how you look at it, it's a pretty early day on a Sunday.
American 221 Heavy with you, flight level 400.
And I'm sorry, I missed the call sign at 400. Say again the call sign?
American 221 Heavy.
American 221 Heavy at Toronto. Hello. Squawk code 0544.
0544 for American 221 Heavy.
I try to play dumb. Even when I ping people directly, I try to play dumb and not know who they are until they squawk the right code, and then I can identify them positively as much as possible. Try to play dumb. American 221 Heavy, thank you very much. Identified, flight level 400, welcome.
American 221 Heavy.
I feel like I'm never going to get the Air Canada 585, am I? And Air Canada 2311, are you in the turn to 330?
Air Canada 2311, yeah, for whatever reason, it's not responding. Can we get direct loopy?
And Air Canada 2311, sorry, you wanted to, yeah, direct Ulipi is approved, Air Canada 2311 Heavy.
Thanks, yeah, I just hit the hold button and it wasn't doing it, so executing the turn right now.
Air Canada 2311, roger, and at Ulipi you are cleared the ILS approach, runway 06 left.
Clear ILS 06 left at Ulipi, Air Canada 2311, thank you.
Toronto Center, Air Canada 585.
Air Canada 585 Toronto, hello. Squawk ident, please.
What ident? Air Canada 585.
Transat 1286 Toronto, continue climb, flight level 310.
Air Transat 286, climb 310.
Air Canada 585, thank you very much. Identified, flight level 340. Nice. We got him. We got him. They're both going over NOSIC too. That's funny. All right, so we got him. This guy's turning final. Love it. Love it. All right, things are coming together. I actually have control of all the airplanes in my airspace. I couldn't believe this guy the other day. He's like he asked me to log off like shortly after I logged on, like 5-10 minutes after I logged on. He texted me. He wasn't in my airspace yet, and he said, "Can I log off or can I stay on Unicom?" And I'm like, "No, if you're gonna come into controlled airspace, you've got to talk to the controllers." And I'm sympathetic to a certain degree, but if you just don't want to talk to anybody, then just don't be on the network at all. It really kind of that mentality of, well, I'm going to be on the network, but I'm not going to talk to anybody, really kind of bugs me. And I will admit that I do it from time to time, but I do sometimes, try to leave a flight going so controllers can see the destination and perhaps log on to the destination when I'm, doing stuff during the day. If it's a 3-hour, 4-hour cruise and I'm off doing stuff and I don't necessarily can't sit at the computer for the whole time while talking to ATC, then okay. But to actually go and actively ask the controller to log off because I don't want to talk to him. Hey, can you log off or can I just stay on Unicom? That kind of really blew me away. It's like, wow, that's a new level. That's a new level for VATSIM. It's one thing if it's one thing to log off yourself, but to ask somebody else to log off because you do not want them to talk to them. That really blew me away. It really was like, I was like, I didn't even know. I just started. I read it and I just didn't even know how to respond to it for the first minute or so. I'm like, what? Like, yeah. And I found more and more pilots like that just don't want to talk to ATC at all. They're going to cruise the VATSIM network, and my only guess is that they must be doing it to log, to officially log time in their VA or something like that. So I think some of the VAs require you to be connected to an online network for your flights. Otherwise, the flight doesn't count. I think that's the case. But I mean, that defeats the purpose of the whole thing. Is the whole point is that like you have to deal with an ATC system as much as possible. Deal with other real people in the world, and yeah, it just. I've gotten a little more aggressive for years and years and years. I've been very laissez-faire with people on the network and not talking to people, cruising through my airspace. As long as if you're in cruise, and I'm used to be like, fine, whatever. You want to cruise, be my guest. But I've just started to become a little bit more strict on like, if you're going to be in my airspace, if you're going to be on the network, first of all, you have to follow the code of conduct. And if you're going to be in my airspace, we got to at least have some conversations at some point. Maybe not the whole time. And like, if you want to step away for 20 or 30 minutes at a time, cool. But at least acknowledge that you're here, be part of the network. If you don't want to be part of the network, just don't log on. And that's, if your VA requires it, your VA requires it. You either deal with it that way and be a part of the network and talk to people, or choose a different VA, choose a different way to fly online. It really kind of just, that whole mentality kind of has really been bugging me. So I've gotten so much more strict. And it's not to say, like, again, like I was not going to wallop anybody at this point because I've only been online. Now is the time when I start to even begin to think about it, because the code of conduct very clearly states, and I will read it just to make my point. But it makes a very clear statement that people violate it all the time, and it really bugs me. Transat 286 Toronto, you're about to leave my airspace to the southeast. The Cleveland Center is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and enjoy your flight.
We'll switch over to Unicom, Air Transat 286. Thanks for the service. See ya.
VATSIM's code of conduct B3B. If it becomes necessary to leave a pilot connection unattended, and this is if it becomes necessary. The idea is, I should probably back this up a step and say it and read B3A, which is pilots shall monitor their flights at all times. It is the responsibility of the pilot to check for and make timely contact with appropriate air traffic controllers. This includes making prompt contact when requested to do so. That's B3A. Pilots shall monitor their flights at all times. B3B If it becomes necessary to leave a pilot connection unattended, the account holder is encouraged to disconnect from the network. Notwithstanding anything in this code to the contrary, no pilot connection is permitted to be unattended for a period of longer than 30 minutes. Clear as day. Air Canada 2311 Heavy, Toronto, winds 030 at 5, clear to land, runway 06 left.
Clear land 06 left, Air Canada 2311.
So clear as day. It is expected that pilots will monitor their connections when they're connected to the network. If you cannot monitor your connection, it's expected you're going to disconnect. Basically, the 30-minute caveat is basically grab some food, go to the bathroom caveat. It's not go do your homework, go vacuum your room, go, go to the store, buy groceries, come back, and you're still connected to the network. The idea of that one is at least my assumption, and maybe this is really my interpretation, but I would encourage anyone who dissents to tell me what your interpretation of this is. But my interpretation after reading both B3A and B3B in combination is that really the idea is that if you're connected to the network, you should be at least within hearing range of your aircraft at all times, not unattended. And B3B pretty much it's giving you permission to go to the bathroom and not have to disconnect just to go to the bathroom. You can go upstairs and grab a cup of coffee, go and grab something to eat, come back down. I say come back down because that's my house. I'm visualizing my house, but come back to the computer with your coffee, with your food, whatever, and not have to disconnect while you're stepping away long enough to go to the bathroom to get food, to do that sort of stuff. And 30 minutes is very generous in that sense. It shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes to do most things. That's the idea, anyways. At least I think that's the idea. I mean, I welcome any dissenting opinion. If somebody thinks that I'm wrong, please tell me. I gladly love to have discussion about it. But that's the way I've sort of interpreted it, read into it. Really, at the end of the day, B3A pilots shall monitor their flights at all times. First sentence right there. Yeah. Anywho, it's yeah. What am I trying to say here? It's frustrating. It seems to have become more epidemic, or maybe my patience wears thin as I get older. I don't know. But it seems to have reached more epidemic proportions where people will just sail through for like 4 hours and you'll ping them every 10 minutes for 4 hours and they'll never get a response. And then an hour and a half later, you might get a, oh, sorry, I missed your messages. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, what were you doing for this 4 hours? Where was your respect for the code of conduct? Like, if I log on, like as a controller, you got a very different role. But if I log on as a controller, I'm expected to be here. I'm not just going to connect and then just leave dead air. And that's, I'm pretty sure that's part of the general ones. Anyways, there is, I'm pretty sure. Da, 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 da. Zombies. It's funny, I'm just reading through these things, and only unaltered speech is permitted to be transmitted, A14. And yet I wonder, because, like, technically the AFE codec alters speech. It doesn't alter the speech, but it adds some background noise. So, except as provided in section B3B of this code of conduct, account holders shall not leave their connections unattended. Account holders not actively participating in the network, i.e. connected as an observer, shall not log on for excessive periods of time. And I mean, that aspect of like, okay, log on as an observer and sitting there for 8 to 10 hours. Air Canada 2311, welcome to Toronto. You can turn left on Delta 5, left on Delta, and where are you parking?
Block.
Air Canada 2311, welcome to Toronto. Turn left on Delta 5, left on Delta, where are you parking?
Left on Delta 5, left on Delta. Just surprises anywhere Terminal 1 could.
All right, well, let's have a look. You came in from Montreal, so we're going to put you on the domestic pier. So plan gate, I'm trying to remember here. I think 141 will accommodate a heavy. So taxi Delta 5, Delta Alpha, and enter the apron at Alpha Lima.
Okay, so we'll go Delta 5, Delta Alpha, and we'll enter Alpha Lima for gate 141, Air Canada 2311.
And I'm actually just trying to pull up, literally just trying to pull up right now.
Toronto Vision 12 Lima Alpha, what top altitude can we expect?
And Vision 12 Lima Alpha, the top altitude is on the departure procedure. Do you need me to give it to you, or can you read it there?
Vision 12 Lima Alpha, I'll need it. I'll need to give it to me because I don't have access to the charts, and even if I did, it wouldn't be any use.
All right. Vision 12 Lima Alpha. All right. Amend your departure or amend your clearance. You're cleared to. Let's see here. You're cleared to Boston via radar vectors to Bumpa and your flight plan route. On departure, fly runway heading and maintain 5,000.
On departure, fly runway heading and climb 5,000. Radar vectors Bumpa for Vision 12 Lima Alpha.
Vision 12 Lima Alpha, roger. All right, so I'm going to change.
Good afternoon, Air Canada 768. Request out of our clearance to Boston.
And Air Canada 768 Toronto, hello. You're cleared to the Boston Logan Airport via the Kepta Tree departure, Bumpa transition, flight plan route, depart runway 05 and squawk code 0510.
Kepta Tree arrive, correction, departure with runway 05, squawk 0510, flight plan route. Bumper transition, Air Canada 768.
Air Canada 768 Toronto, the readback is correct. Information in Toronto is Alpha. Pushback. Actually, give me a call when you're ready for the push. It's starting to get a little busy on the apron here.
Roger, call you when ready.
And 141, yeah, 141 does accommodate a wide body. I've got the list of wide body gates here, and 141 does accommodate a wide body, so there you go. He's good on 141. Air Canada 585 Toronto, you've just left my airspace to the west. The Minneapolis Center is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Switch to en route for Air Canada 585. You have a good one.
Take care. Air Canada 776 Heavy Toronto, when ready, descend flight level 290.
When ready, flight level 290, Air Canada 776.
All right. Going to go back to the spaces page, make sure the winds are still favoring 05, and they're starting to pick up. So I will be surprised if they don't start switching this airport around soon. I'm almost surprised they haven't switched to the 5s and 6s in Toronto, but I haven't actually checked. So chances are it could have happened in the real world. I just haven't even paid attention to it yet. All right, Beach 3 departure Erie transition. There you go. That's what it is. All right, perfect. So it's starting to get a little busy on the apron. So I'm just going to kind of keep positive control of the apron here. Gate 141 is good.
Air Canada 768, just to confirm, the runway condition is dry, right?
And for whoever was asking, current runway conditions in Toronto, I believe they're dry, but I'll just double check. Stand by.
Roger, thank you.
Let's just have a quick look here. And I should have runway conditions somewhere. And yeah, runway conditions in Toronto as of 1834 Zulu are all dry.
Roger, thank you, Air Canada 768.
Roger. All right, so starting to get quite a few departures logged in here. This is good. This is good. Yeah, I'm curious. They're still using 23s and 24s. I can see here actually on my screen that the localizers are up for 23 and 24 left, but it's 7 knot tailwind. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I'm almost surprised that they're not switching around though. Really am. I mean, the thing is, the forecast says it is going to be favoring. What am I trying to say here? It is going to favor 23s and 24s later in the afternoon. It should be favoring them right now. The fact that the winds are out of the northeast is a little bit odd. It's not in the forecast, anyways.
Toronto, very good afternoon to you, Air Canada 1040, flight level 350.
And call in Toronto, I believe that was Air Canada 1040, squawk code 0570.
0570 Air Canada 1040.
Actually, the TAF is amended here now, so what time is it? 2000. Actually, from 2000, winds 160 at 5.
Air Canada 269 requesting clearance to Winnipeg.
First, Air Canada 1040, your identified flight level 350. When ready to send flight level 29ers, correction, when ready to send flight level 240. Toronto information is Bravo, plan 06 left. And Air Canada 1040, did you copy? Runway 06 left, the information is Bravo, when ready to send flight level 240.
Okay, apologies. For runway 06 left, we'll descend flight level 240 when ready, and we have information. Bravo Air Canada 1040. And just for your reference, we're direct airport right now.
Roger. And sorry, who is looking for the clearance?
That'll be Air Canada 269 on the ground in Toronto.
Air Canada 269, Toronto, good afternoon. You're cleared to Winnipeg via the AVSEP 7 departure, Musit transition, flight plan route, depart runway 05, squawk code 0566.
Squawk 0566, clear for, copy the AVSEP 7 approach via RNAV Musit, runway 5, Air Canada 269.
Air Canada 269, thank you. That readback is correct. Let's see here. Information Bravo's current. Call me when you're ready for the push.
We'll call you when ready for the push, and I immediately forgot the squawk code after I said it. What was it again?
Air Canada 269, squawk 0566.
0566. Air Canada 269, thank you.
Air Canada 768, ready for push.
Air Canada 768, Toronto. What gate are you at? Make sure the transponder's on.
We're at gate 181, stand by for transponder.
Air Canada 768, there it is. Thank you very much. Cleared to push on to lane 9, tail to the north, and call ready for taxi.
Push to north, go for taxi, Air Canada 768.
Delta 1127, Toronto. Leave my airspace to the west. Minneapolis is not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Over to Unicom, Delta 1127. We'll see you.
FedEx 3166, Toronto. Are you here? All right. Pinging you.
Toronto, Vision 12 Lima Alpha Heavy, ready to reposition 05 at your leisure.
Vision 12 Lima Alpha, Toronto. Thank you. Information is Bravo, and the altimeter is 3012. You're cleared to reposition to the threshold of runway 05. Advise ready for takeoff.
Clear reposition 05. We're working on Alpha for 12 Lima Alpha. Anything significantly changed, or can we maintain that?
12 Lima Alpha. Nope. Winds are still light and variable out of the northeast, and altimeter 3012. Still cav okay.
Okay, then reposition approved 05. Vision 12 Lima Alpha.
Toronto Center, FedEx 3166 Heavy, flight level 330.
FedEx 3166 Heavy, Toronto, hello, squawk ident.
Squawk ident, FedEx 3166.
Air Canada 1040, Toronto, descend 7000, Toronto, altimeter 3012.
7000 for Air Canada 1040.
Air Canada, Toronto Center, Air Canada 2311. We're shutting her down there. We're going to be back with another aircraft for another flight. You're going to be on for a while?
I'll be here for a little under 2 hours now.
Roger that. Thanks.
Thank you. FedEx 3166 Heavy, identified, flight level 330. Welcome.
FedEx 3166.
Air Canada 776 Heavy, Toronto. You're leaving my airspace to the east. The Montreal Centre is not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a great day.
Okay, over to Unicom. Thanks for help this afternoon, Air Canada 776. Good day.
Take care. All right, let's get
Vision 12 Lima Alpha, ready to go at your leisure.
Vision 12 Lima Alpha, Toronto. The wind's 020 at 5. Contact me once you're airborne. Clear for takeoff. Runway 05.
Clear for takeoff 05. We'll contact once airborne for 12 Lima Alpha. Thank you.
All right. And I'm just trying to get a... Let's see here. Ottawa 2532. Let's see if I have a 2532 terminal here for any arrivals that may come in. No, I don't. So we'll do the 25 because that's applicable for departures as well. And then Ottawa ground. And we just got to keep an eye out because this guy may start to push and taxi without us knowing. So I'd like to know what he's doing. 25. He is going to Boston. Boston via Codex at Mach. Yeah, that's all good. All right. How are we doing here? We're doing good. We're doing good. We got lots of airplanes in our airspace. We got lots of planes on the ground. Vision jets departing. We got a handful of airplanes on the ground. It's coming together. Coming together. My phone buzzed at me. Was it anything important? Can't not look at these things when they buzz at you.
12 Lima Alpha Airborne passing about 1,000 feet now.
Vision Jet 12 Lima Alpha Toronto. Thank you. You're identified. Continue climb 7,000.
Up to 7,000 for 12 Lima Alpha.
All right. Nice to see people turn around. I had fun the other day actually. I had a day where I logged four flights on the VATSIM network, not necessarily completely back to back, but without disconnecting. I don't think I disconnected from the network at all because I flew them all into the same airline call sign. I don't think I disconnected from the network for like 12 hours. I might have actually. No, I think I did because I think en route on one of the longer legs, I think I was disconnected from the network. But my sim ran for like 13 hours straight. It didn't crash, didn't overheat. Actually, I was shocked and surprised. Vision 12 Lima Alpha, turn right direct bumper on course.
Direct bumper for 12 Lima Alpha.
Yeah, I was quite impressed. I managed to do 4 flights, without shutting down the sim, without exiting the main menu. Just kept the flight going. It was with PMTG 737. So that one I find is a pretty rugged, reliable airplane. And at the end of every flight, it does a good reset. Like it doesn't run into problems with the systems not resetting properly. I found some airplanes occasionally, especially some of the cheaper airplanes, the default aircraft. Like you do one flight, but then you can't. None of the information gets cleared out when the flight's complete. Pardon me. And you end up with you end up with leftover data and the old flight kind of pointed the information still from the old flight still in there, even though you're trying to do another flight. So, but I do find that the PMDG is good for that. The Phoenix is good for that. Like you can clear out the older flight information and it's gone, and you can start a new flight. It's good like that. There are a few that are good like that. There's a few that are annoying that don't work the way they're supposed to sometimes like that. But it is what it is. But I had fun. I was shocked. I was just shocked that the sim ran for that long, 4 different flights for 13 hours without the sim crashing.
Toronto Air Canada 768 request taxi.
Air Canada 768 Toronto, runway 05. Information is Bravo altimeter 3012. Taxi out Delta Romeo, Delta, cross 33 right, Echo, and hold short of Sierra.
Taxi via Delta Romeo, Delta, cross 33 right, Echo, hold short of Sierra. Air Canada 768.
Vision 12 Lima Alpha, climb flight level 230.
Flight level 230 for 12 Lima Alpha.
I wonder, and this guy, he's got it in his remarks and what we were talking about earlier and why he had to reposition, but it says right in his remarks that, hi, we are a blind pilot. Our programs do not allow us to taxi on the ground correctly. Request to spawn onto the runway. I'm curious. I really I should look this up and find out more information. Like, I'm curious how he is able to fly an airplane without vision. And I'm thoroughly impressed and happy to provide service. And I'm not trying to, sound biased, but like, and I'm sure it's pretty obvious. Like, obviously, sight is one of our key senses for observing the world and taking in information about the world. So, for a person who does not have sight, and aircraft are designed to be operated by sighted pilots, plain and simple. Period. Like, they're not designed for blind pilots. But for him to be able to do this and be able to operate the airplane, and he levels off the altitudes you tell him to, and turns direct. There's certain things obviously he can't do, and then there's certain restrictions. But that's why I was trying to ask very diplomatically, like, can you read the plate? the trouble with like a plate especially is like when you get a lot of readers, they'll read through things kind of in order on a page. However, when you get something like an approach plate, it's random bits of information all over the place, so very hard to kind of get a reader to read through that. Um, let's just pull up like the departure here just to look at it, but to try and so I was very sympathetic. I was trying to just be diplomatic and not not say too much, not try to call him out too much on it. But I think it's fantastic that he can do this, that he can participate in the network. He's as good as almost any other pilot, other than the fact that he has to repo to the runway. He can't taxi, and that's okay because he always reaches out. He makes sure that everyone's okay with that. He's not trying to get in anybody's way, just trying to enjoy the network like anybody else. So I find that always impressive that he can do that. All right, let's see here. So like the kept a 3 departure. So let's see here how we're doing. Okay, so if I do this, you should be able to see it. There we go. But you look around, like there's different pieces of text all around the screen. At the top, there's remarks, there's airport elevation, there's frequencies, there's the name of the plate, there's a lost comm box, there's descriptions for various runways of it. But how would you tell a screen reader just to read the information about runway 05's departure
Toronto
procedure?
Air Canada 269 ready for push and start.
And good on him for being able to do that. Air Canada 269 Toronto. Let's see here. Push onto lane 8, tail to the west, and call ready for taxi.
Push on to lane 8, tail to the west, and call in ready for taxi. Air Canada 269.
All right, let's see here how we're doing. This guy's still descending. This guy's still climbing. Vision 12 Lima Alpha, proceed direct Hank on course.
Vision 12 Lima Alpha, proceed direct, did you say Hank on course?
Vision 12 Lima Alpha, affirmative. Hank, Hotel Alpha November, Kilo Kilo.
Got it. We're seeing direct Hank now for 12 Lima Alpha, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, impressive that I don't think I need to spell it for him. He's got it in the list. I don't know how he's doing it sometimes. It's fantastic that he can do it, and good on him for doing it, for being able to do it, and he's very good about it. I've talked with this guy before. At least I think it's the same guy. He reaches out, he tells you what he needs, and he tries to. He's like, whenever you can fit me in. He's very willing to just work as part of the team. He's part of the team. Vision 12 Lima Alpha, Toronto, climb flight level 390.
Climb flight level 390 for 12 Lima Alpha.
Air Canada 1040, descend 5,000.
5,000 Air Canada 1040.
Toronto Air Canada 1068. Just curious, will tree right ever be used for Toronto?
Air Canada 269, it does get used. The crosswind component on the main runways has to exceed 25 knots, or if all the other runways are closed.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Toronto Center Air Canada 187, how do you read?
472 heavy flight level 380 inbound Ottawa.
All right, I got two on there at once. I got Air Canada 187. I raid you 5x5.
Roger, thank you.
And other call for Toronto. Say again your call sign.
Lufthansa 472 heavy.
Lufthansa 472 heavy, Toronto. Hello, squawk code 0541.
Squawk 0541 in the box for Lufthansa 472 heavy.
Air Canada 1040 Toronto, proceed direct fail, descend 4,000.
Direct Rail down at 4,000 Air Canada, don't worry.
Lufthansa 472 Toronto, thank you very much. Identified, flight level 360.
Confirm flight level 380 for Lufthansa 472.
I might need to get my eyes checked. Lufthansa 472, that is correct. You're at flight level, I see you at flight level 380. Sorry about that.
Roger, flight level 380.
Air Canada 187 requesting clearance to Cancun Airport.
Air Canada 187 Toronto, you're cleared to Cancun via the Beats 3 departure, Erie transition, flight plan route, depart runway 05, squawk code 0516.
Okay, cleared to Cancun Airport via the Beats 3 departure, Erie transition, departing runway 05, squawking 0516, Canada 187.
And Air Canada 187, I did miss part of the squawk code there, just confirm 0516.
Squawking 0516, Canada 187.
Air Canada 187, thank you very much. Your readback is correct. Information is Bravo. Give me a call, ready for the push.
It will call for plane ready to push, Canada 187.
Toronto Center Plaza, good evening, American 2277 with you, descending through flight level 274, and we're setting up for 06 left.
American 2277 Toronto, squawk ident. Air China 981 Heavy Toronto, you're leaving my airspace to the southeast. Cleveland's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Unicom, Air China 981, thank you, bye-bye.
Take care. American 2277 Toronto, thank you. Identified, descending through 265. Descend 7,000. The Toronto altimeter is 3012. It's information Bravo. Plan runway 06 left.
7,000, information Bravo, 06 plans, 2277.
Toronto Center, Air Canada 269, ready for taxi.
Where's Lufthansa going? Oh, okay, weird. Air Canada 269, runway 05, information is Bravo, altimeter 3012, taxi lane 8, Alpha Lima, Tango, Echo, cross runway 33 right, hold short of Sierra.
Okay, lane 8, then Alpha Lima, Tango Echo, cross 33 right, and hold short Sierra, Air Canada 269.
Air Canada 768, continue taxi, Echo Golf Hotel, cross runway 15 right.
Echo Golf Hotel, cross runway, confirm 05 right? Or wait,
And Air Canada 768, cross runway 15 right, 15 right.
Roger, cross runway 15 right, Air Canada 768. Confirm doing hold short hotel? Like hold short before the runway 05 hotel.
Air Canada 768, the affirmative, hold short runway 05 at hotel.
Roger.
Air Canada 1040 Toronto, descend 3000, you're cleared ILS runway 06 left approach.
I wasn't clear for that, 06 left, 140, thanks.
Air Canada 187, ready for push.
First Vision 12 Lima Alpha, contact Boston Center now, 134.7.
Over to 134.7 for Vision 12 Lima Alpha. Thank you for the service. Good day. Great service.
Thank you. Take care. Air Canada 187, cleared to push onto lane 2, tail east. Call ready for taxi.
Okay, tail to the east and lane 2, we'll call for ready for taxi Air Canada 187.
Lufthansa 472 Heavy Toronto. The information in Toronto is Bravo. Plan runway 06 left for arrival.
Yeah, planning runway 06 left for arrival at Toronto and information Bravo for Lufthansa 472 Heavy. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, just making sure I'm not missing anything here. Oh, I got that guy, I got that guy. He's going Echo Golf Hotel. Perfect. Love that. He's not taxiing. He's about to leave my airspace. Okay, just making sure.
Toronto Center for Lufthansa 472 Heavy.
Lufthansa 472, go ahead.
Confirm we can expect arrival runway 06 left or right at Toronto.
It should be 06 left. If I put something else in the ATIS, I made an error.
Alright, 06 left for Lufthansa 472 Heavy.
Toronto Center Air Canada 187, is it fine if I just delay my push for 5 minutes?
Air Canada 187, no problem. I got nobody else on that ramp right now, so whenever you're ready, push your discretion.
Okay, thanks.
Air Canada 269, continue taxi, Echo Golf Hotel, cross runway 15 right.
Continue taxi, Echo Golf Hotel, and cross runway
15 right.
05 right.
Close enough. American 221 Toronto, about to leave my airspace to the west. Minneapolis is not online. Switch to the on-route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
American 221 Heavy, thanks for being on. We'll see you.
Take care. Air Canada 1040, winds 060 at 5, clear to land, runway 06 left.
Clear to land 06 left, Air Canada 1040.
All right, Air Canada 1040 just sent me a text that he's vacating until he's disconnecting until he's vacated just because his frame rate drops on final. Air Canada 768 Toronto, contact me once you're airborne. Winds 010 at 3, clear for takeoff, runway 05.
Contact when airborne, clear for takeoff, runway 05, Air Canada 768.
I'm not doing a good job of updating these either. So he's on push, he's on taxi. Looks like Delta logged off rather than talk to ATC, as so many people do. Yeah, for sure.
Air Canada 1040, Delta 3 for gate 167.
Air Canada 1040. Let's see here. You can taxi left on Delta 5, left Delta, and Alpha Lima for 143.
Okay, so Delta 5, Delta, Alpha Lima for confirm 167.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard 143. Okay, for 167, actually, same instructions. Still to enter at Alpha Lima.
Okay, same instructions as for Alpha Lima, Air Canada 1040. Thanks.
Toronto Air Canada 768 heavy, climbing, passing 2,000 to 5,000.
Air Canada 768 Heavy, thank you. Identified. Climb flight level 230.
Climb flight level 230, Air Canada 768 heavy.
Lufthansa 472 Heavy. When ready, descend flight level 240.
Then ready to descend flight level 240 for Lufthansa 4730.
Air Canada 768, turn right, direct Rycom on course.
Turn right, direct Rycom on course, Air Canada 768.
Tama GT, I didn't even see you there. Good afternoon. Steady? Yeah, it's pretty steady. It's not crazy, but it's definitely enough to keep me interested. I haven't had to talk about too much unrelated stuff, so it's kind of been pretty good. No, it's been nice and steady, and I figured this is a good time of day to kind of log in on a weekend at least. Certainly not on a weekday when I would be normally logging in as well, but like on a weekend, it's not a bad time of day. I figured this would be we definitely get some aircraft in here, some interest. And yeah, we've had like probably about 5 or 6 departures log in. I saw that there were lots of inbounds and there's quite a few more logging in. It's a pity that this is going to be relatively, for me, a short stream. Yeah. Yeah, but it's been nice and steady, so it's good. At least we'll have some interest for this for the length of time we're going to be on here. It's not like crazy busy, but it's definitely nice and steady here. American at 2277, proceed direct fail, intercept the localizer and descend 6,000.
Direct fail, intercept the localizer 6,000, 2277.
Air Canada 187 Toronto, ready to taxi runway 05.
Air Canada 187 Toronto, thank you. Information is Bravo, altimeter 3012. Let's see here. Taxi Alpha Tango Romeo Echo Golf Hotel. Cross runway 15 left and 15 right.
Hey, taxi Alpha Tango Romeo Echo Golf Hotel, cross 15 left, cross 15 right, Canada 187.
Air Canada 269 Toronto, contact me once you're airborne. Winds 010 at 3, clear for takeoff, runway 05.
Clear for takeoff, runway 05, Air Canada 269, will contact when airborne.
American 2277, descend 4,000.
4,000, 2277.
Air Canada 768, proceed direct Hank on course. Climb flight level 410.
Direct Hanks on course. I think we requested for 350.
And Air Canada 768, I see 410 here for the final, but I will change that now. Climb flight level 350.
Yep, 350. Air Canada 768. Thank you.
Air Canada 269, Toronto Center passing 2000.
Air Canada 269, Toronto, thank you. You're identified. And just confirm you're still on the 045 heading there?
I will be on the 045 heading.
Air Canada 269, you can proceed direct AVSEP on course in future. Make sure you do read the SID, and in Toronto you generally need to take off in heading mode.
Wilco.
Air Canada 269, climb flight level 230.
Climb to flight level 230, Air Canada 269.
Toronto Center, Canada 768. Just to make sure, do we directly contact Boston after a few minutes, or do we monitor unit confirm a few minutes and then contact Boston?
Air Canada 768, stay with me. I'll tell you when to contact Boston.
Roger, thank you.
American 2277, descend 3000, and at fail, you're cleared the ILS runway 06 left.
3000 at fail, clear ILS 06 left, 2277.
Lufthansa 472, continue descent 12000, the Toronto altimeter 3012.
Descent 12000 and altimeter 3012 for Lufthansa 473.
Toronto, United 66 with you 370.
United 66, Toronto Center, hello, Squawk Cadet.
United 66 with a flash.
Still. United 66, Toronto, thank you very much. Identified, flight level 370.
Right.
And a lot of planes logging in now. Gotta start going through this here. I'm sitting here, I'm chatting with the Boston controller. He's an old friend of mine. Oh, Tom GT, and you're sitting here chatting with me, and I'm not even watching. Good to hear it's going to set up a flight, but not possible now. Enjoy control flight to Winnipeg. Yes, I'm glad that was... I didn't even realize that was you. I'm sorry. I don't even recognize your voice, because I always see you in chat, and I never really hear your voice very much, so I'm sorry. Sim add-ons has a decent version of Regina. I have their Hamilton Airport, did the Winnipeg Airport, but just changed the FSIM Studios. And that was the thing. I was thinking about Sim add-ons for Winnipeg, and then I read FSIM Studios, FSIM Studios was coming out with one, and I'm like, oh, I'll go with that one. I'm definitely going to go with that one. FedEx 3166 Heavy, you're just about to leave my airspace to the east. Montreal Center is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a great day.
Over to you, FedEx 3166. Have a good one.
Sim add-ons is not bad, and in the P3D era, Sim add-on scenery was really quite good. I think they're kind of middle of the pack now. They're not like, I would say that they're still, you get good value for the money, I think, but they're not as high end as some of the really good developers, the Flight Beams, the Flight Sim Studios, those ones. Sim add-ons is not up their game quite as much, kept up with the technology. And the technology has gone crazy in MSFS with these like transparent terminals and things that are going on. Like it's insane what developers are able to do with the scenery now. It is a bit of a shame that yeah, like I like Sim add-ons. The guy who runs it. It's a one-man shop. He does a nice job with what he's got. KLSX. I'm gonna guess that's KLAX maybe. I don't even know what he's doing. I'm gonna have to talk to him when he calls me up and see what he's doing, because that's not going to work for me at all. That's fine. This is fine. Dead key.
Toronto Center, good evening. Guitar 346 in person. Stand Bravo 15. Information Bravo. Request clearance to this mission.
All right. First of all, American at 2277. The winds are 010 at 5. You're clear to land. Runway 06 left.
Copy the main sky land 06 left 2277.
Air Canada 187. Winds 010 at 3. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 05.
Clear for takeoff, runway 05, Canada 187.
And the Ataro, I've got an Ataro 1036 and an Ataro 735. I don't have, I think it was, I can't even remember the flight number, I'm sorry.
Ataro 346.
Now, what the heck, man? I've lost my internet here. I hate when this happens. All right, I think, am I reconnected now? Can you guys hear me? Not sure what's going on. All of a sudden, I've got some intermittent internet connection issues. And somebody's calling Toronto there. I'm having some connection issues. Say again? Okay, American 2277. I keep having some internet drop-offs here. What gate are you parking at?
Charlie 27.
American 2277. Taxi Charlie Alpha. And you said Charlie 27?
Apron.
Enter the apron at Alpha Juliet.
Charlie Alpha Juliet 2277.
Toronto Center, Canada 7076. Request IFR to Montreal. Stand 175 Nation Bravo.
Lufthansa 472 Heavy, descend 8,000.
Descend 8,000, Lufthansa 472 Heavy.
Air Canada 187, climb flight level 230.
Flight level 230 now, Air Canada 187.
And Air Canada 187, make sure if I do give you a level off, you level off at that altitude. You were just underneath traffic. You could have put yourself in conflict if you don't level off when you're instructed to.
Apologies, sorry about that.
Air Canada 7076 Toronto, you're cleared to the Montreal Trudeau Airport via the Dead Key 5 departure, Miglo transition, flight plan route, depart runway 05, squawk 0535.
Clear to Montreal, Deck B5 departure, Miglo transition, then it's filed, expect runway 05 for departure, squawking 0565, Canada 7076.
Air Canada 7076, your read back is correct. The information in Toronto is Bravo. Call me when you're ready for the push.
Okay.
Toronto Center, good afternoon. Jazz 775, IFR to, where am I going? Detroit, please.
It does help to know where you're going. Jazz 775, you're cleared to the Detroit Metro Airport via the Ancol 5 departure. Flight plan route, depart runway 05, squawk code 0521.
Alright, hopefully we know where we're going. Jazz 775, we're clear to Detroit. Ankle 5 departure, flight plan route, Alpha 05, squawk 0521 for Jazz 775.
Jazz 775, the readback is correct. Information is Bravo. Call me when you're ready for the push.
Alright, Roger, we'll call for push. Jazz 775, thanks.
Toronto Center, good afternoon. WestJet 593 with you, flight level 320.
WestJet 593 Toronto. Let me find you on my list here. Squawk code 0514.
0514, WestJet 593.
Toronto Toronto Radar, good evening. Itaro 1036, information Bravo on board, request clearance for destination.
Itaro 1036 Toronto, you're cleared to New York LaGuardia via the KEPTA tree departure, Bumpa transition, flight plan route, depart runway 05, and stand by. Ah, I lost all my things because somebody logged on.
Toronto Center, Air Canada 69 at gate 171 with information Bravo, requesting IFR planes to Los Angeles International.
All right, the first thing is Itaro 1036, so your squawk code is 0534.
Cleared to New York, runway 05 via Capta 3, transition PA, squawk 0534, Itaro 1036.
Itaro 1036, your readback is correct. Information in Toronto is Bravo. Let's see here. Let's see here. You can call terminal on 132.8 ready for the push.
132.8, Itaro 1026.
Lufthansa 472 Heavy, descend 4000.
Descend 4000 for Lufthansa 472
Toronto low, Total 735.
First of all, WestJet 5. Where are you here? WestJet 593, that's you. You're identified at flight level 320.
593, roger, thanks.
And who was the other one? Who else was calling Toronto?
Air Canada 69. I'm at gate 161 with information Bravo, requesting IFR planes to Los Angeles International.
All right, Air Canada 629. The terminal just came online. You can give them a call at 132.8. However, your flight plan is pretty much blank and it doesn't even say Los Angeles on it. So you may want to check your flight plan and refile on that.
Okay, cool.
Toronto Center, Sunwing 9806 in Ottawa.
Sunwing 9806 Toronto, hello.
Hi, yeah, just got a contact me from you.
Yeah, Sunwing 9806, Ottawa's under my control, so you'll need to talk to me before you depart. I'll be right back with you here.
Okay.
Lufthansa 472 Heavy, contact Toronto arrival 132.8.
Toronto arrival 132.8 for Lufthansa 472 Heavy, thank you.
Sunwing 9806 Toronto, you're cleared to Quebec City via the Ottawa 4 departure. Radar vectors to TACOL flight plan route. Depart runway 25, squawk 0502.
Clear Quebec City, Ottawa 4 departure, runway 25, vectors to tackle off runway 25 and 0502.
Sunwing 9806, that readback is correct. The information in Ottawa is Bravo, and that's you taxiing out there, I take it?
Yeah, we're currently down, what's the call it? We're down Bravo right now.
Sunwing 9806, Roger. Runway 25, information is Bravo. Altimeter 3011, taxi Bravo. Hold short and advise ready.
Your taxi Bravo, hold short, we'll call ready, Sunwing 9806.
Toronto Center, Jet 775, would you like us to call arrival for our push?
All right, and Jazz 775 affirmative. You can contact the terminal now 132 or contact terminal 132.8 when you're ready for the push.
328 for the push, Canada 775, thanks.
Itaro 1036, Itaro 735, and Itaro, I missed the other flight number, it's still not showing up. Itaro 346. You can all contact terminal on 132.8 when you're ready for the push.
Air Canada 187, flight level 230, just leveled off.
And Air Canada 187 Toronto, continue climb, flight level 360.
360 now, Air Canada 187, thanks.
Okay, so we got an arrival controller. He kind of just popped in there, made my list disappear all at once, which is fine. It all sort of happened all at once, and so then I had to hand a whole bunch of stuff that was happening on the ground to him. Yeah. WestJet 593 Toronto. The information in Toronto is Bravo, runway 06 left for arrival.
Alright, expecting 06 left for WestJet 593.
All right, WestJet 593, giving him 06 left. All right, I think we're kind of caught up, and that kind of helps now just take a little load off because it was getting a little bit hectic. There was a lot of stuff kind of going on all at once. It got a little bit hectic for me trying to deal with this. Let's see here. Oh, 1 more hour. Just trying to see a time check here. Yeah, 1 more hour, and then I'm gonna have to head out for the day. But it's a little shock as you're sitting there literally reading your list. And Euroscope is really smart sometimes in that it only shows information that's relevant to you. And as soon as another controller logs on, and it takes away control of your airport, so it automatically selects which airports are relevant to you based on who's logged on. So when another controller logs on, all of a sudden your airports disappear, or at least change depending on what airports are no longer relevant to you. And when the arrival controller logs on, the Toronto itself is no longer relevant.
Boeing 9806, short 25.
Sunwing 9806 Toronto. Contact me once you're airborne. Let's see here. The Ottawa winds are 340 at 13. Clear for takeoff, runway 25.
All in there, clear for takeoff 25, Sunwing 9806.
Air Canada 187. You're leaving my airspace to the south. The Cleveland Center is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a great day.
Okay, switching over to Unicom now. Thanks for ATC Air Canada 187.
Take care. All right, you guys have been chatting here, and I just completely have been ignoring this. I'm sorry, but just too much stuff going on here, and then to do this handoff to this other controller as well. Interesting. Virginia, FS Studios, Winnipeg. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Sim Add-ons, it's not the best scenery, but he's a good developer. I feel like he does listen to queries and responses, questions, and yeah. So I don't mind spending money at Sim Add-ons. I think he's a good developer. He's a one-man studio, and he manages to put out some pretty good scenery, and he has managed to put out a wide array of Canadian scenery in pretty short order too, which is pretty impressive. The number of airports he's gotten out there. They're not all the highest quality, but they're definitely way better than the defaults for sure. They're not up to like the highest standard of developer quality, but if you're willing to live with that, and I am most of the time, I think I don't need the best of the best of the best. I like the best of the best of the best, but the best of the best of the best also is like, it's crazy how much space a single airport will occupy now. Like at 2, 3, 4 gigs for a single airport scenery with all the high res textures and everything now. It's quite crazy. And then to think like all that's got to be loaded into your GPU, into your system when you fly near that airport. Like it's crazy that we don't have more problems with the airports crashing systems crashing more often. Like I've got to say, like Microsoft Asobo has found like a very good compromise.
Sunwing 9806 in the air through 2300.
Sunwing 9806, thank you. Identified, climb 13,000.
I maintain 13,000, Sunwing 9806.
So yeah, like it's not the best thing in the world. It's way better than default stuff. There's their custom models. They're just not quite up to like some of the good stuff you get now with transparency and things like that in terminals and stuff. But it's not bad. Sunwing 9806, turn right, direct tackle on course.
I turn direct tackle on course, Sunwing 9806.
Yeah, the hotel hamster can't keep up. Did I just call myself irrelevant? Did I? I must have. I might just be irrelevant now that we have an arrival controller online. I'm almost irrelevant. Now I've only got like 3 airplanes that I'm talking to instead of like 20. It's getting, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 departures on the ground in Toronto now. 9 departures on the ground in Toronto now. Like it picked up really quickly here. Having an arrival controller, of course, is adding to that workload for sure. Oh, we got a departure and an arrival controller now. Oh, interesting. Aha, interesting. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah. I just couldn't even read what was going on in the chat there because there's just so much stuff going on my scope here, and also with this handoff to the other controller, which is actually just well timed for this many airplanes. I would probably not be able to keep up with this many airplanes on the ground, especially because my internet kept fading on me there. It seems to have gotten stable again. WestJet 593 when ready, descend flight level 240.
Alright, clear down to flight level 240, when ready, WestJet 593.
Yeah, that was...
Itaro 346, request to push and start.
Itaro 346, contact departure on 128.8 with your request.
Say the frequency again, please.
128.8 for the terminal controller.
128.8, Itaro 346, thank you.
Thank you. United 66, contact Boston Center now, 134.7. Good day.
347, right one, United 66.
Take care. Yeah, it probably would have been okay if I wasn't also dealing with the internet suddenly started glitching on me there. And the stream, you guys saw the stream.
Toronto Center, Air Canada 269. Can we change flight over 300? It looks like winds are a little better down there.
Air Canada 269, just confirm flight level 300, 30,000?
Yes, 30,000, Air Canada 269.
All right, Air Canada 269, no problem. Descend flight level 300. I'll show that for the final.
Thank you, descend to 30,000, Air Canada 269.
Yeah, I probably could have dealt with it if I wasn't also dealing with, just at that moment, the internet started glitching on and off. And you saw it on the stream, but also the AFE seemed a little bit more rugged, but then it disconnected at least twice. What I ended up doing was just to try and recover it was I just disconnected the Wi-Fi altogether and reconnected it, and it seems to have now solidified since then. I haven't seen a drop since that point, but yeah, it was weird for some reason at that point. I thought. As you said, the hotel hamster can't keep up. The other thing that I was thinking was that maybe it's just maybe I've reached that expiry time. It's now 1 o'clock. So I was thinking maybe I was being booted off the network because it's been it's the end of the day and I need to relog into the network, which is not the case. I tried it a bunch of times and that was not the case. I don't know why it suddenly started dropping me, but it seems to have solidified again. Sunwing 9806 Toronto, you're about to leave my airspace to the northeast. The Montreal Center is not online. Further climb and nav at your discretion. Switch to the honorary frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Okay, resuming on navigation, and we'll switch on Sunwing 9806. Have a good day.
Take care. And I went from having a whole bunch of airplanes on my plate to now I have 2. All right. What else can I say here? Well, anyways, now it got quiet. All right, I think I got everything. All right, well, anyways, I got 1 more hour, then I'll head out, so hopefully we'll get a few more airplanes. We got lots of departures on the ground. It's just a matter of getting them airborne. But the trouble with a lot of these departures, as I can see from here, that a lot of them are southbound, southeast, southwest bound, and I talked to those for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then send them off to Unicom. That being said, actually, with Boston Center online, I do keep them a little longer. So there is an agreement between Boston, Toronto, and Cleveland that any departures that Toronto has, or any traffic Toronto has, really, that leave to the east, that is going to go through Boston. This is about 120 miles, I think. Not even, it's 85 miles. We will often close this gap. So if there's no Cleveland Center online controller online, we will just Boston and I will just directly hand to each other through that airspace, just to keep the continuity. There's no point in sending people off to Unicom for 8 minutes so they can come back to a different frequency and they have to get pinged by the next controller and look at where to go. So it just makes life. All right, we got a departure out of Elliott Lake. Ooh, I haven't seen a departure out of Elliott Lake in a long time. I'm pretty sure there's a METAR at Elliott Lake. Or is there? No, there is no departure at Elliott Lake. There's no departure at Elliott Lake. What's the closest one to Elliott Lake? Is it the Sioux? Is it Gore Bay? I think Gore Bay is actually the closest. All right, yeah, Gore Bay is the closest, so I'll get the Gore Bay up there for this guy. He can depart whatever runway he wants anyways. All right, and apparently my ATIS also, yeah, everything fell offline here. Some of my ATISes fell offline. Others didn't fall offline because it was not long enough, I guess, that they were offline for anything to notice that they were offline. Offline. Okay, let's throw a few more up there. Let's throw Canadian Sioux up there then. 070, so we'll call it runway 12. And then let's throw up a London ATIS. See if we can lure some people into London. I'll do 27 in London. Yeah, all those glitches were just poorly timed. Like the fact that it started, my internet connection started glitching out just as the next controller showed up too, and I'm just trying to get caught up and communicate with the people I have, and then I'm trying to hand off to the next controller. It just was like, ugh. WestJet 593, descend 12,000, the Toronto altimeter, 3013.
Alright, descending 12,000 now, WestJet 593.
All right, well, it got a little bit less interesting, but that's okay. Be really hectic now. This is the flip side, the double-edged sword of coming on the weekends, is that not only are there lots of pilots online, but there's also lots of other controllers that are eligible to come online. And as a result, I often end up in this situation where I lose a good portion of my airspace to the next controller. And this guy on the ground's got to be going nuts right now. He really does, because it's just, I just want to listen in for a little bit, because there is 9, 10 airplanes on the ground in Toronto right now.
Jazz 775 for Roger, stand by 1 for me.
He's got to be having fun by now. Boston wants me to take over this guy already. Yeah, sure, why not? I don't care. I got nothing else to do right now. Let's do it. Might as well get the Transat to call me as well. He's definitely got his work cut out for him, though, here on the ground. Did I close that ground view? I did. I want to keep it open. Not that it's relevant to me, but just to see what's going on, because there's a lot of stuff going on here. Come on. It's been really slow to load some of this stuff lately. Come on, think about it. Think about it.
Toronto, good center, good day. This is Ed Transat 327, passing flight level 300, descending 160.
Transat 327 Toronto, stand by. Just my scope seems like it might be crashing here. Stand by. Nope, I think I'm losing it. I don't know if it's too many airplanes on the ground in Toronto.
Toronto Center, okay, this is Ed Transat 327, passing level 200, descending 160, next American 69. Actually, there is a runway change, so I have I'm at the clearance for you guys. I'm ready.
Okay, holding short, we'll just pass out the window. I'm ready when
All right, stand by, guys. I'm sorry, but my scope crashed. And it was taking longer and longer to load things, so that should have been a bit of a hint
Toronto
to me.
Center, good afternoon. Air Canada 1228, 20 miles.
All right, so let's reconnect. Okay, come on. Oh, why this stuff is out of order, I'll never understand. All right, my apologies, everyone. My scope crashed there for a moment, but we're back online now. Transat 327 for you, squawk code 0505.
Squawk code 0505, Air Transat 327.
Toronto Center, good afternoon. Air Canada 1228, 10 miles from Gons, flight level 320.
Air Canada 1228, Toronto, hello. All right, hopefully you guys, nope, you can't see it. I've got to reselect the screen here because it, hold on. If I do this, that's what you're looking for. WestJet 593, contact Toronto arrival 132.8.
Right, 328 now, WestJet 593, thanks for that.
Ugh, gotta get all the information that I had back up here again. Frustrating. Frustrating. And the scope just kills itself altogether here. Okay, and then there's this guy over here. That's my guy as well. This guy over here should be talking to me already. He's not. All right, let's get this going here. Transat 237 Toronto. Let's see here. The information in Toronto is Oscar. Plan runway 0. Correction. Plan runway 24 left.
Information Oscar and runway 24 left. At Transat 327.
All right, so they just flipped the airport around, which everyone seems to be obsessed with this, and I'm normally like a real world. I'm a realist. It's like real world is sticking with it, but the winds have been solidly out of the east all day, with like reaching up to almost 10 knots at times, which is the maximum most airplanes are allowed to land with a tailwind. So it's yeah. Everyone's been like, you know, that's you know, I don't know. Everybody's been sort of like asking me to switch directions, and I'm like, you know, I'm just trying to keep. I'm not keeping it realistic. In this case, I'm keeping it just practical. You know, you don't want to be pushing people to 10-knot tailwind. All right. Yeah, I know, and I realized that it was because I had to restart the scope. So the streaming software uses an auto detect function to try and detect the correct. Where's Transat going? To detect the correct window to display, and as soon as the scope crashed, it tried to pick something else with a relevant name. It wasn't very good, wasn't very successful at it, but that's what it tried to do. But it should be all fixed now. You guys should be seeing everything the way it should be now.
Toronto Center, good evening. Air Canada 270, flight level 390, about 60 miles southwest of the Wawa VOR.
Air Canada 270, squawk ident. Air Canada 270, thank you. Identified, flight level 390. All right, got to reconnect all my ATCs again here. And I don't remember what I had. Did I have City? Did City stay up? I think City stayed up. Anyways, it doesn't really matter that much. All right, anywho. Yeah, just frustrating. This is, you just got to roll with it sometimes, but the technical glitches today have been a little bit frustrating. Internet connection issues, and then the scope crashed altogether. And it should have been a hint as it was slowly getting slower and slower, slowly getting bogged down. I don't know if this is the number of airplanes within, you know, my visual range on the scope or what, but it's a lot of, it was getting really slow there. I'm not sure why. Every once in a while it seems to want to do that, but it seems to sort itself out again pretty quickly. There are a lot of airplanes within my visual range here. Like there is a good like 100, possibly more airplanes than my visual range. I might try to take that visual range down a notch. Just wondering if that was perhaps having an impact on it. So let's do that. Let's take the visual range down a notch here. Let's go 500 even. That should still be more than enough, but that will eliminate. There we go. That'll eliminate a good 20, 30, 40 airplanes, especially some other ground airplanes at other airports. Transat 327. Are you going to make the restriction there at Youth?
Could you repeat it again for Transat 327? Didn't copy.
And Transat 327, are you going to make the 13 to 11 restriction there at Youth?
Affirm. Transat 327. You're going to try.
Transat 327, roger. Let's see here. He's going to have to go down. The next step is 15, so 45. So, right about the time he crosses that sector. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Start down shortly. Just waiting for this handoff. Waiting for the handoff. It's not hectic, but it's busy. Getting busier again already. It's a good thing I have this offload here. I couldn't handle probably the 11 airplanes that are on the ground in front. Holy jabolies. You come up on a Sunday afternoon and boy, everyone's out here partying.
Toronto Chatter, hello, here Canada 419er, currently at flight level 305, climbing to flight level 320.
Air Canada 419er, contact Toronto squawk 0545. I'm thinking one step ahead here.
Squawk code is 0545, Air Canada 419er.
Transat 327 Heavy, Toronto, contact arrival now, 132.8, good day.
132.8 at Transat 327. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.
Take care.
Toronto arrival.
Air Canada 1228 Toronto, descend 17,000, the Toronto altimeter 3013.
Send 17,000, 12.
Got lots of inbounds as well, though, too. Nice steady parade of inbounds and outbounds. Too bad I'm only here for another half an hour.
Good afternoon, Air Canada 931 with you, level 390.
Air Canada 931 Toronto, hello, squawk code 0561. He's coming from Cancun, and some guy left to go to Cancun a little while ago.
0561, Air Canada 931.
Air Canada 931 Heavy Toronto, thank you. You're identified flight level 390 to send now 1000. The Toronto altimeter is 3013.
Confirm down to 1000 or 1000?
1000 Air Canada 931.
Copy, down to 1000 Air Canada 39, or correction, 931 Heavy.
Air Canada 419 Toronto, you're identified flight level 320, welcome.
What's that for Air Canada 419?
Air Canada 931, information in Toronto is Oscar, plan runway 24 left.
We've got it. Thanks, we're planning 24 left. Air Canada 931 Heavy.
Roger. All right, 24 left on the Oxman Ling. There you go, that'll put all the waypoints in there. Now it's going to get busy for the terminal, the ground. Like, look at the ground controller here. There's a lot of airplanes on the ground in Toronto. Okay, if you squawk in VFR, yeah, he's inbound to the Sioux VFR. That's fine. But what I should do is I should be ready with a Sault Ste. Marie ground view, at the very least, and maybe even a tower view. Like I have a tower view. I don't think I even have, I should have a ground view. Yes, I do. There we go. What I should also have is the control zone. I don't, so let's put that up here. CYAM. Those are all the approaches. Is there no control zone? There got to be a control zone for the CYAM. Maybe it's under low boundaries. Where is CYAM control zone? There's got to be some kind of depiction of the control zone. I'm obviously looking in the wrong place, but...
Toronto Center, Air Canada 270. I have to log off early, unfortunately, so have a good evening. Take care.
Air Canada 270, roger. Have yourself a good rest of the day. We'll see you next time. Why is there no... I see Kitchener, Ottawa, City, London, Toronto. I don't see anywhere. I don't see Sault Ste. Marie control zone. Why do we not have a Sault Ste. Marie control zone? Really? That's crazy. Why do we not have a control zone for Sault Ste. Marie anywhere that I can find, unless I'm missing it somewhere? Travis, I'm looking at you. I don't see it anywhere. Okay, we're just going to have to guess. Well, there you go. At least that's his distance there. Air Canada 931 Heavy Toronto, are you going to make the restriction there at Youth?
Yeah, we're trying.
Yeah, in the next 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you're going to be here at 20,000 feet. I don't see it happening. Air Canada 931 Heavy, vectors for descent, turn left heading 270.
Left 270, Air Canada 931 Heavy.
Air Canada 1228 Toronto, plan runway 24 left. The information is Oscar.
24 left, information Oscar, Air Canada 12.
All right, so that VFR is 60 miles back from Canadian Sioux. He'll probably get there just about the end of our shift here. Air Canada 931 Heavy, continue the left turn around to heading 140.
Left at 140, Air Canada 931 Heavy.
Air Canada 1228, descend 1000. Toronto altimeter is 3013.
1000 for 12.
Toronto Radar, Itaro 1036, flight level 230.
Itaro 1036 Toronto, hello, climb flight level 390. Proceed direct, actually disregard, just climb flight level 390.
Flight level 390, Itaro 1036.
Air Canada 931 Heavy, continue the left turn direct to Ling on course.
Left turn, direct landing, Air Canada 931 Heavy.
Air Canada 1228 Toronto, short vector for sequence, turn left heading 270.
Left 270 for 12.
Air Canada 419 Toronto, information is Oscar, runway 24 left for arrivals.
Oscar and 24 left, arrival for Air Canada 419er.
All right, Air Canada, I accepted that. Sometimes this thing is very temperamental. Okay, 419 is, let's see here, 419. He's going for the left side, so let's make sure he's assigned properly. 24 left.
Toronto Center, Jazz 775, 1774, flight level 230.
Jazz 775 Toronto, hello, climb flight level 220.
So just confirm Jazz 775.
Jazz 775, affirmative, climb flight level 220. That is the normal max altitude for a flight down to Detroit.
Okay, Roger, 220, Jazz 775, thanks.
Air Canada 1228, further left heading 210.
210, 12.
This guy wasn't doing 400 knots still. Be a lot easier. There's a lot of stuff going on the ground in Toronto. Kind of glad that's not my problem anymore. Air Canada 419er, descend flight level 240. One thing's for certain, it would be an interesting stream.
Air Canada 419er.
If I was the sole controller here right now. This would be an interesting stream at the very least. Simulation, sim-out on CYXC is surprisingly good. Much of the interior is very accurate. Only small thing is some buildings still have the old regional logo. Can we switch to Rise Air? Air Canada 1228, thank you for the help. Back direct Ling on course.
Direct Ling on course, 12.
Yeah, the chaos in Toronto right now. Chaos. There's still, well, now there's 6 departures because half the airplanes are airborne, but still. I can only imagine the frequency hell that's going on right now on the departure frequency. Excellent time for training a student. It's just got to figure out what they're doing. PC-12. Oh, and they got a PC-12 and everything just to make it that much more interesting. Air Canada 419er Toronto, continue descent 7,000. The Toronto altimeter 3013.
3013 at 3013 and down to 7,000 Air Canada 419er.
How close is this guy getting to the Sioux now? Now he's about 40 miles back from the Sioux.
Toronto Center, Walker 3864 with you, 10,500.
Walker 3864 Toronto, thank you. Continue climb, flight level 230.
230, Walker 3864.
Toronto Total 755, Boston flight level 200.
Iteros 735 Toronto, hello, continue climb, flight level 310.
Continue flying flight level 310, Total 735.
Air Canada 931 Heavy, contact arrival now, 132.8.
32.8, thanks for the help, Air Canada 931 Heavy, see ya.
Take care. Itaro 1036, proceed direct Audil.
Proceed direct Haven, Itaro 1036.
Itaro 1036 negative, proceed direct Audil. Oscar Uniform Delta India Lima.
Audil, Itaro 1026.
All right.
Toronto settings, this is Air Canada 629, 15,000 for 23,000.
Air Canada 629 Heavy Toronto, thank you. You're continue climb, flight level 270.
To 270, Air Canada 629.
Itaro 1036, contact Boston Center now, 134.7.
122.8, Itaro 1036. Thank you. Bye bye.
Itaro 1036 negative. Contact Boston Center now. 134.7.
134.7, Itaro 1036. Thank you.
Walker 3864. Climb flight level 250.
250, Walker 3864.
Air Canada 629 Heavy, proceed direct Cased.
Direct Cased, Air Canada 629.
Center, Air Canada 549, passing 13,000.
Air Canada 549 Toronto, continue climb, flight level 290.
290, Canada 549.
Walker 3864, proceed direct Hank on course.
Direct Hank, Walker 3864.
Itaro 735, proceed direct Audil on course.
Direct Audil, Itaro 735.
Air Canada 1228, contact Toronto arrival, 132.8.
32.8 for 1228.
Jazz 775 Toronto, leave my airspace to the south. The Cleveland Center's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Alright, check. Thanks very much, Jazz 775. We'll see you.
See ya. There's a lot of departures going out here. Does he have the 10 miles fin trail spacing here? He's close. He's very close. With a little speed restriction, it'll work out just fine. And the nice thing is, like, when you do have multiple, I always get a kick out of the seagulls flying around at Sim Adams. Winnipeg must have come from the landfill. I like it, yeah. It's funny, those funny little gimmicks that you really enjoy. That probably at the time the developer probably said, "Is this too gimmicky? Is this just silly?" And then people actually get a little kick out of it. But when you have enough controllers online, everyone's doing their job well. It's not a hard job per se. There are still points where it's going to be tough and challenging, but when everybody's doing their jobs individually, and as long as everyone operates within their correct parameters, it's amazing how well the whole system tends to work. Yeah, it's amazing how well the whole system works. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot of a lot of extra effort if you're not second guessing other people all the time. He's about 23 miles away from Sioux. Air Canada 269 Toronto, you're about to leave my airspace to the northwest. The Winnipeg Center's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Thanks, appreciate it. Air Canada 67.
All right, there were two calls answered to that call, so listen carefully. That was for Air Canada 269. Air Canada 269, you're leaving my airspace to the northwest. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Yep, copy, appreciate it. Thanks, Air Canada 269.
Thank you. I think the other one was Air Canada 629. You stay with me for now.
Air Canada 69, Roger.
Air Canada 629, however, you can climb flight level 360.
15,000 for flight level 230.
All right, I blocked somebody there. Air Canada 629, you can climb flight level 360.
Up to 360, Air Canada 629?
Air Canada 629, affirmative.
Up to 360, Air Canada 629.
Somebody else called Toronto?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Our Mex 499 is with you passing 16,000 for flight level 230.
Air Mexico 99, thank you. Continue climb. Actually, stand by. I'll get back to you. Air Canada 549 Toronto, what's your indicated speed in the climb?
We're just at 260 Air Canada 549.
Air Canada 549, increase speed 290 knots or faster in the climb.
290 knots or faster, Air Canada 549.
Aero Mexico 99, speed 280 knots or less, and climb flight level 390.
Okay, speed 280 or less, and climb maintain flight level 390, Mexico 99.
Air Canada 549, proceed direct Audil on course.
Proceed direct Audil, Air Canada 549.
Hi, it's a busy day. Boston, I think, is having a busy time of it too. I'm not even looking at his airspace, but he's got a lot. Oh my gosh, there's a Cleveland Center. When did Cleveland show up? Oh my gosh. I didn't even notice Cleveland showed up here. Itaro 735, contact Cleveland Center now, 119.87. Good day.
Please say again the frequency, Itaro 735?
Itaro 735, contact Cleveland Center, 119.87, 119.87.
Roger, Cleveland 119875, Total 735. Bye.
Bye-bye. Walker 3864, contact Cleveland Center as well on 119.87. Have a good day.
Over to Cleveland, Walker 3864. See you, good day.
Good day. Air Canada 549 Toronto. Contact Cleveland Center 119.87. Check in, let them know your direct auto, and let them know you're 290 or faster.
Roger, we'll contact Cleveland Center and we'll let them know we're direct auto and 290 or faster. Canada.
Aero Mexico 99 Toronto. Contact Cleveland Center 119.87. Let him know you're 280 knots or less.
Will do, Aero Mexico 99. Thanks so much. Cleveland Center 119.875. Thanks.
Take care. Wow, Cleveland's taking all my fun too. Everyone's just stepping all over my fun here.
Center, good evening. Guitar 346, 10,000 feet.
Ataro 346 Toronto, hello. Climb flight level 230.
Climbing 230, Guitar 346.
All right, Air Canada 809. All right. Well, this just takes up all my fun. Now he's climbing these guys. I hope he appreciates the fact that I basically built the separation for him. It didn't quite exist when the departure controller handed them off. It was kind of close, but when they're that close together too, especially if them in spacing, the departure controller should be giving them speed restrictions. The fact that he wasn't is a little annoying. Bravo Romeo Alpha Bravo Toronto. He's getting very close now. So I'm going to say, call me. Hello, call me. Itaro 346, contact Cleveland Center for hire, 119.87. Good day.
119.87, Itaro 346. Thank you, bye.
Bye-bye. Come on, buddy.
Toronto Center, this is Sirius, Vision Jet, Sirius, Bravo, Romeo Alpha Bravo request, landing at Sultan Larry.
Bravo Romeo Alpha Bravo Toronto, hello. Sioux information is Alpha runway 12, the altimeter 3007. You're cleared right downwind, runway 30. Correction, right downwind, runway 12.
Authorize to runway 12 for Bravo, Romeo Alpha Bravo, thank you.
CYAM. All I want is just the center line. Center line. And I can at least see where it is. There it is. All right. No. All right. Definitely busy and hectic today. Good thing we...
Center, hello, United 001 passing 15,600 climbing 230.
United 001 climbing flight level 230, hello. Air Canada 419er, contact Toronto arrival 132.8, g'day.
32.8 for Air Canada 419er, thanks for the service, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to do one more thing here, which is I'm just going to pull up the Sault Ste. Marie winds, and then we're going to clear this guy to land. I should have Sault Ste. Marie, right? Yeah, there it is. Bravo, Romeo, Alpha, Bravo. The assumed winds are showing 070 at 7. You're clear to land, runway 12.
Clear to land, runway 12 for Alpha
Toronto
Bravo.
Center, good evening, Air Canada 7249 at 15,000 feet.
Air Canada 7249 Toronto, hello. Climb flight level 230.
Flying flight level 230, Air Canada 7249.
This Cleveland Center controller just got hammered as soon as he logged on. I'm like, oh, I've got like 20 airplanes for you whenever you're ready. Got lots of airplanes for you. No worries about that. Still got a couple departures on the ground, but I think the wave is kind of past now. The big wave is past. That's good. United 001 for hire. Contact Cleveland Center now. 119.87. Good day.
1987, United 001. Bye-bye.
Take care. That's no longer relevant. That's the wrong direction. But anyway, so you got a couple of landers. You got a couple departures left, but I think it's kind of fading out now anyways. Don't get landers in the Sioux too often, in all honesty, really. Like, I can't remember the last time I had a lander in the Sioux. No, you do every once in a while. You do every once in a while. I won't say you never get them. But yeah, like maybe once every month or so you might see them. Like, you don't see them very often. It's one of those airports. It's up there with like Trenton, and as one. It's like what it's there, and people just don't think about it. Trenton's its own little weird thing, just because it's a forces base. It's a Canadian Forces base. It's not a civilian airport per se, so it's not something many people think about. There's no airline service certainly, so people don't think about that aspect. Yeah, we're coming down to the end here. I'm just going to get a couple people handed off and then make it really easy for the handoff to the to the next controller here, because it's actually going to work out really nicely here. Looks like Boston might be able to go on a shift change. There's now 2 Boston controllers online. This might be a good time to change soon. The arrival controller's only got 2 on his plate right now. He's the one that's going to take over for me. So if I can just turf a couple people to Unicom, get this guy at the Sioux taxiing in. Air Canada 7249, contact Cleveland Center now, 119.87, 1987. Good day.
119.87 for Air Canada 7249. You too, good day.
Romeo Alpha Bravo. Welcome to Sault Ste. Marie. And are you just going to the main apron?
No, we just requested to the parking lot.
Romeo Alpha Bravo, Roger. You can take the next left on Bravo if you got it there and taxi Bravo, apron your discretion.
Okay, clear the runway 12 for Alpha Bravo. Thank you and have a good day.
Take care. All right, so I don't feel too bad about logging off now because, yeah, we had another center controller who was online. As you can kind of see, the shading there all changed. The outlines all changed. So basically what the Euroscope, again, is assuming right now is that we're both controlling simultaneously, but what we're actually doing is logged on right now just for an overlap so that he could hear and see everything was on frequency. I could hand him everything that was within my purview, and then and give him a quick briefing and a rundown of everything that was happening, and that's it. So, yeah, it's worked out really well, very seamlessly. The pilots should be pretty much none the wiser that there was even a controller change. Really, at the end of the day, not much happened anyway. So it got really kind of quiet towards the end there, but it was kind of a fortunate thing because in the middle there, it was getting quite hectic with 12 arrivals on the ground. I probably could have dealt with it. It would have been a lot of work, but I would have dealt with it. The thing that really kind of just not even, it was really kind of grinding my gears. It was just like all of a sudden the network started failing me. The connection started failing me. And that's what was really going to really cause me a problem, was just the network. If I couldn't hear all the radio calls.
Kind of 419 over Kyrex, contact on departure 128.8.
Over Kyrex, we'll contact departure for Air Canada 419er.
But that was the big kind of kicker, was just the fact that we're
Air Canada 16 Heavy, function private ATC is available, monitor Unicom 122.8, have a good day.
And he's not even listening. Anywho, I'm going to disconnect now. But that was a good stream. That was fun. It was pretty hectic for a while, but it wasn't ridiculously hectic where we couldn't handle it. But it was definitely fun. So I'm glad you guys got to watch that. I'm sorry it was shorter than I normally like to do. Just when it was really starting to get hectic there, the other guys came and took over. And yeah, if it hadn't been for my internet connection issues, I would have been fine with handling it. I would have enjoyed it. I would have enjoyed having 10 planes on the ground and trying to work everything. But it's kind of fortunate that they did, and that the service certainly didn't suffer. And I just love the fact that we had another controller that could take over. So the service in Toronto just carries on. None of the pilots are even really aware that there was a controller change, other than maybe the change in voice. But otherwise, it just carries on, and people just keep on flying. The positive control just continues, which is great. So, anyways, I had lots of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and join me next time for the next stream. If you haven't already, join the Discord just to find out when the streams are. I try to put the ones that I know about in advance up in there. Probably going to try and do one this week because this is the last week where I'm going to have lots of days off this month, and then after this next week, I have like 3 days off the whole rest of the month. So, probably not going to find much time for another stream in there, but we'll see. But join me probably sometime this week. We'll do a flight stream Toronto down to we'll do LaGuardia down to New Orleans, where there's some more beautiful Latin VFR scenery. So join me for that. In the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend wherever you are, and we'll see you guys all next time. Take care.